Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video I will show you how to insert records into your database using ASP.NET Core with MVC application. And here we got the final output, the create view page, which contains the employee name, email and salary. Let's enter the employee name, which is Ben at gmail.com. His salary is 7654. Now before insert this Ben record into our database, let's check in our SQL Server database. I'm executing the statement execute. Right now we got 10 records. The last one is a Karthik. Now let's execute that record Ben. Browser create. See, here we got a message. The record Ben is saved successfully. Let's check in our database. I'm executing the table. See, here we got the Ben details. Suppose if I'm not entering any details in the employee name, if I click create, see, here we got the validation. The EMP name field is required. That's it. We have implemented in MVC to insert new records using ASP.NET Core version 3.0. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before writing the coding part in ASP.NET Core with MVC to insert records into a database, first we'll check the table in our SQL Server Management Studio. The table name is the EMP table, which contains 4 columns: EMP ID, EMP name, email and salary. Now my aim is I want to insert new records into this table using ASP.NET Core in MVC application. And this table, EMP table, I have created in this new DB database. So let's open Visual Studio. For this video tutorial, I'm creating a new ASP.NET Core application. Go to File, New, Project, and from the projects I'm selecting ASP.NET Core Web Application. Click Next. Let's give the project name Insert Record MVC Core is my project name. Click Create. And from the ASP.NET Core Web Application, I'm selecting the Model View Controller, which is a MVC template, and the .NET Core I'm using 3.0 version. Create. And the project is created successfully. Let's close this default window. Open Solution Explorer. Notice in this project we have added the MVC templates also: controllers, models and viewers. First, in this project I am adding my connection string in appsettings.json file. Open appsettings.json file. Between curly braces I am adding, between double quotes, connection strings, colon, between double quotes I'm adding my connection string name, my connection, colon, and between double quotes I'm adding my connection string, the data source. For that, open Server Explorer, right click the data connections, add connection. Let's add our SQL Server name. After adding SQL Server name, now I'm selecting the database name. The database name is a new DB. I have selected that one. Test connection is succeeded. OK. And here, if you notice, under data connections we got the new db.dbo is added. Now we require the data source of this new db.dbo. For that, right click the mouse, go to properties. In the properties, connection string. In the properties there is a connection string which contains data source. Copy that one and paste between these double quotes. After that, right click the mouse, go to properties. In the properties there is a connection string which contains data source. Copy that one and paste between these double quotes. After that, right click the mouse, go to properties. In the properties there is a connection string which contains data source. Copy that one and paste between these double quotes. add comma here because it's a JSON file. After adding our data source in this app settings.json file, next open Solution Explorer. Now in this models folder we'll add our two classes. One is a DB context class connection string, and the second one is the properties. Right click the models folder, add, and selecting class. Let's give the class name is connection string class, add. And here we got our connection string class. Now in this connection string class I'm inheriting the DB context class. So semicolon, add DB context. The DB context class belongs to the entity framework core package. So let's add the namespace using Microsoft entity framework. If you notice in the intelligence window we don't have any entity framework package here. So let's delete this one, and also colon dbco, delete that one also. Now open Solution Explorer. If you notice the dependencies, expand the dependencies folder. Notice there is no any packages folder. So let's add the necessary packages into this folder, into this project. Right click the project name, manage Nugget packages, select that one. After that, switch to browse and search for Microsoft Entity Framework Core, and here we got the results of this Microsoft Entity Framework Core. We require this one, first one, and the version is 3.0.0. Let's install. Click OK, and let's accept the license. I accept. And the package is installed successfully. Notice the icon here. And the next package, before that let's check in the Solution Explorer. Notice in the dependencies folder, now we got the packages folder. Expand this packages folder. Now we got the package Microsoft.Entity Framework Core, which we have just installed into this project. Next, come down. I require Entity Framework Core.SQL Server. Select that one, click install. Let's accept this. Click OK. I accept the license. And here we got the installed successfully. Notice the icon here. And we require the design also, Entity Framework Code.design. Select that one and click install. Click OK and accept the license. And this one design package is also installed successfully. And the last package we require, the tools package, Entity Framework Code.tools. Select that one, install. Click OK and accept the license. And the tools package is also installed successfully. Let's check in the Solution Explorer. Notice in the packages folder all the packages are installed successfully. Now let's switch to the connection string.class. Now let's inherit the DB context class. So before that we need to import the package Microsoft.Entity Framework colon, now DB context class. Now in this DB context class, let's create the constructor of this class, CTOR double tab, which creates the constructor. Now inside this constructor I'm adding DB context options. In the options I'm adding my connection string class name, options colon base options. After that, let's close this error list window and the output message box also. Now let's add the new property prop, double tap, and this property is a DB set. In the DB set we have to add the class name. So let's create a new class. Open Solution Explorer, in the models folder, right click the models folder, add class. Let's give the class name is EMP class, and here we got our newly created EMP class, and in this class I'm just defining the public properties. Prop, double tap, and here one important point: whenever we are adding a new property name, that name must be the same as the table column name. For example, here public in the property name is EMP ID. The EMP ID is a property name, and also if you check in the table, EMP table, the EMP ID, the column name also same, and this EMP ID contains a primary key. And one more here important, the ID column must be primary key, and add this key method, and this key belongs to the namespace using system.componentModel.data notions. After that, let's add the remaining properties: prop, string, EMP name. Let's add the required here, so which is a validation purpose. The third one, required prop string email, and the last one, required prop string salary. Usually in the salary we'll add the integer or float type, but here I have added string because when I created the table, the salary column data type, I have added nvarchar, which is a string type. Here the condition is whatever the property names and the types must be same with the table columns. Now let's add this EMP class in the DB set, EMP class, and here the property name, our table name. Again switch to the SQL Server Management Studio, copy this EMP table and add here. We need to call, now open Solution Explorer, open startup.cs file. We need to add our connection string and the connection string name into this configure services. It's a services dot add db context. In the db context we need to add our connection string class. So connection string class, so let's import the namespace using insert trick or the project name dot models folder, because our connection string class is inside this models folder. And after that we need to add Microsoft dot entity framework. After adding these two namespaces, now let's add our connection string class options dot use SQL Server method, and this SQL Server method takes the connection string configuration dot get connection string method between double quotes, because it's a string. Get connection string method takes a string parameter, and that parameter is our connection string name, which is my connection. Copy that one and paste between this get connection method. That's it. Up to now we have just finished. We have added the connection string, the data source in the app settings, Then we have added the DB context, and we have created the property DB set and simple EMP class which contains only the public properties with the column names of the table. Then we have called the connection string class and my connection, and both we have added our services in this configure service method. Now open Solution Explorer. Let's create a new controller. In this controllers folder, right click the controllers, add controller, and selecting MVC controller empty, add. The controller name is new record, is my controller name, MVC controller name, add. And here we got our new record controller. Now in this controller, first I'm importing the namespaces using Microsoft.Entity Framework, then using insert record, the project name .models folder. After adding these two namespaces, now I'm creating a new action result for create public action result, which is a create method, a return view, and again I'm copying this method create method action result and pasting bottom. The first action result create method is the HTTP get method, and the second one is the post method, HTTP post. And also I'm adding validate anti-forgery token. In the action result create method, I'm calling the EMP class name, this class name which contains our public properties. Let's create an object EC. Then in the above action result index, let's declare the private read only, but here we're just adding our connection string class underscore cc. Then let's create a constructor ctor. In this constructor I'm adding connection string class cc underscore cc is equals to cc. Now come to the bottom. In the HTTP post create method, I'm adding underscore cc dot add method. In this add method I'm adding EC, then underscore cc dot. After adding the records, I'm save changes method. In the return view, viewBack dot message is equals to the record plus plus ec dot emp name is saved successfully. That's it. We have written the code to insert new records into a database using ASP.NET Core in MVC application. Now before creating a view page, we must build the application first. Build solution, and here we got a message build succeeded. Let's close this output message box. Select the create method, right click the mouse, add view. The view name is create only in the template. I'm adding create template method, which is to insert the records, this template, and the model class I'm adding EMP class. Let's add, and here we got our create view page. Now notice here the do EMP ID here, which I don't require, so let's comment this part. I don't require this one. And after that, come to the bottom, we need to add the viewback.message. This message, once the record is inserted successfully, I want to display this message. So copy this one, viewback.message, add viewback.message. That's it. Now before run this project, the most important, we have to change the controller name. For that, open startup.cs file, and the startup.cs file, come to the bottom. Notice here the map controller route, which is a home. Let's delete that one, home controller, and our controller name is new record controller, our MVC controller name, new record. Copy that one and paste here. And the action result method name is create. When page loads, I want to open this method name, this view page, action result create view page. This is the one. Let's check the results in the browser. Browse with. I'm selecting the browser. Default browser is Google Chrome, set as default. Click browse. And here we got the final output, the create view page, which contains the employee name, email and salary. Let's enter the employee name, which is Ben at gmail.com. His salary is 7654. Now before insert this Ben record into our database, let's check in our SQL Server database. I'm executing the statement execute. Right now we got 10 records. The last one is a Karthik. Now let's execute that record Ben, browser, create. See, here we got a message, the record Ben is saved successfully. Let's check in our database. I'm executing the table. See, here we got the Ben details. Suppose if I'm not entering any details in the employee name, if I click create, see, here we got the validation, the EMP name field is required. That's it. We have implemented in MVC to insert new records using ASP.NET Core version 3.0.